Welcome to lesson number 4. We're going to look at the general form equation today, which can be written as ax plus by plus c equals 0. Quick review. Lesson 2 and lesson 3, we looked at two other types of equations. So first of all, we looked at the slope y-intercept form, which can be written as y equals mx plus b. And we also looked at the point slope form, which can be written as y minus y1 is equal to the slope m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 are points on our line. So the first thing with the general form equation is the right side is equal to 0. You could also make the left side equal to 0. But when we're looking at writing the general form, ax plus by plus c equals 0, a, b, and c, they're all expressed as integers whenever it's possible. And so as an integer, what that means is we can have whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, and they could be plus or minus with the exception of the constant term that could be attached to the x. We usually write that one as positive, again, if possible. What it allows us to do is write equations for oblique lines, horizontal lines, and vertical lines. Lines at an angle, horizontal lines going straight sideways, and vertical lines going straight up and down. Sometimes it's also referred to as standard form. So let's take a look at our first example. So the following equations are written in either point slope form or slope y-intercept form. We want to convert the equations to general form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are integers. So I'll just do two of these examples. First example is a. So I'm going to multiply 1/2 into my brackets. The first thing I need to do, like BEDMAS tells me, is take care of the brackets. So if I multiply my slope in, I'm going to end up with 1/2 x minus 3 over 2. Now I want to work in getting this to equal 0. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2 as well as the y, and I'm just going to make this left side equal 0. That way I can keep my x value here positive. So this is going to be 1/2 x, subtract y from both sides, will leave me with some minus y, and I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides as well. So 3/2 minus 2, and I'm going to call that 2 over 1. So what I need to do now is I just need to simplify this subtraction here. So I have negative 3/2 minus 2 over 1. When you're subtracting fractions, one thing you need to remember to do is find your common denominator. So if I have 2 over 1, that's the same thing as saying 4 over 2 if I multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So it's going to be negative 3 over 2 minus 4 over 2. This is going to leave me with 0 is equal to 1/2 x minus y minus 7/2. Now the other thing we want to do is we want to express it as an integer if possible. So right here, express as an integer if possible. Right now I have two fractions in my equation, and so if I want to get rid of these fractions, I can multiply by the denominator. So if I multiply this by 2, that 2 will then be distributed into everything in my equation. So this is going to be equal to 2 times 1/2 is just 1, so we would just write x. 2 times negative y is negative 2y, and 2 times negative 7/2 is just equal to negative 7. And so this would be my equation in general form. Next, let's take a look at this example. Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 7. Now, I don't have a constant term attached to the y because this is just in slope y-intercept form. And so if it's in slope y-intercept form, then all I need to do is subtract y. So 0 is equal to 2/3 x minus y plus 7. And we have the same problem where I don't have an integer as my a value that's attached to my x. And so what I need to do is multiply again by the denominator of the fraction to get rid of that. So 0 is equal to 3 times 2/3 x minus y plus 7. This 3 will be distributed into everything in the brackets. And 0 is equal to then 3 times 2 over 3 is just equal to 2. X, 3 times negative y is negative 3y. And 3 times 7 is positive 21. And this is my second equation in general form. So I'm going to skip this one for now. And let's take a look at these examples here. So given the slope of a line in general form, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, the slope and y-intercept can be found by converting the equation into slope y-intercept form and y equals mx plus b. Determine the slope and y-intercept of the graph of the following lines. So what we want to do is we want to determine the slope and the y-intercept. So if I'm looking for the slope and y-intercept, it's really easy to do if we just convert it into y equals mx plus b. So in order to do that, what I need to do is isolate my y. So in isolating the y, I am going to subtract 2x to this side of the equation, and I'm also going to subtract 25. That leaves me with negative 5y on this side of my equation. So if I have negative 5y on this side of the equation, I then need to divide by negative 5 to isolate that y. And that will divide everything on this side of the equation. So this is going to give me positive 2/5 x. And negative 25 divided by negative 5 will give me positive 5. So now we know what our slope and our y-intercept are. Slope is equal to 2/5, and my y-intercept is equal to b. 5. b is equal to 5.